Okay. The only reason I show you this is most of your houses don't look like that, do they? No. But if you can handle this, you can handle everything else. So the first thing we did was stabilize this. And then we got people in there to go do what? Clean it up.
In those situations, Autumn, you using the same, CIMR
Yeah.
414.
Yeah. Same
Just
stuff.
blowing the CIMR.
Yeah. Same stuff.
But you have to put a lot
There's
of
nothing.
those.
You have to put a lot. Why? That's pretty dirty.
Yeah.
You know? Think of it this way. If you take a bath and you're not so dirty, how much soap do you use? A little, right? But if you're really nasty, guess how much soap you use? Hopefully a lot more. You know?
Hopefully.
Hopefully a lot more, you know? And this is really dirty. Now, at the same time, you see all this? This is not glass anymore. This is open. So what do you have to do? You got to contain it. You got to seal it off. I mean, it's the same stuff.
When we do a negative pressure in the house, also we sucking out all the plasma that coming from the CIMR, then we should not do negative pressure.
Let's put it this way. In the protocols, they're going to require some negative pressure. The negative pressure in the protocols are designed when you have occupied spaces that are around you. Okay? If it is non-occupied, better to use positive pressure. Why would you want positive pressure?
Because the plasma can go to the crevices.
That's right. The negative always takes outside air in which they think is really good. In this type of situation, you could smell mold in Beaumont anywhere you went. It was really bad. So all the air on the outside is bad. So all you're doing is sucking in what? Moldy air. So what I want to do is put positive pressure in. So I took a negative air machine with a HEPA filtration, and I'm filtering the air going in. So now I have really good air in my house. I have good filtered air in my house. And then I'm forcing the CIMR through the holes, through all the cracks and crevices, behind the wall, and guess what happens? It kills the mold behind the wall cavities. It also helps dry it out, especially if I put some holes at the bottom, or take the cold molding off, put the holes at the bottom, that air goes right up because it's going to find the hole to go through, right? It's going to go right up. And you say, well, how much pressure do I need? That's always a question. How much pressure do I need? When you fill your containment, and you can go, whoa, it's pretty tight. It pops back at you, you got enough pressure. If you just go like this and it doesn't go anywhere, you don't have enough pressure. You have too many holes. Then you just really find out how holy your house is, Because when you start putting, you go, gosh, I've got 3 6,000 cubic CFM, 3 neg air machines, right, going at the same time, and your containment's like this, not very strong. You're going, whoa, this house leaks a lot of air, and you just add more because you got to get that airflow going. Because if it's no pressure, it's not going to get through those little small holes where the mold could be. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can see where it's at the outside. You see the stuff on both ways. And by the way, that furniture is still all there. And it sat there for weeks.
Those square, is that ceiling tiles? Or what is
Yes.
that? Okay.
Ceiling tiles and everything that was up there,
Okay.
above the drop down ceiling. And that was the lounge area there.
Then when the CIMR being applied to the sofa and everything else, what you do after that, just cleaning with the HEPA vacuum and
Washed it,
professional
cleaned
cleaning,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Professional cleaning, yeah.
Then do you recommend to people take the clothes to the laundromat to do washing after CIMR or?
They can't.
No.
I mean, we can do it for them.
Okay.
And it's just services.
Okay.
Some people say, yeah, you tell me, and the insurance company will pay for all of that stuff. In the old days. Now, I don't know what they do today because
They don't pay.
they don't
They
pay.
don't pay.
They
No,
don't pay.
exactamente, they don't pay.
You know, but but it's depending on what you want to do or what they want to do. But actually, you can hang the clothes up and it'll be just fine. But all that stuff there, that's got to be clean. I mean, you got glass, you've got everything in the world in that stuff. Oh, let me back up. Okay. You see this? What are those?
Fans.
Fans, right? Just floor fans, right? Look how many we had in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. What did we have them doing?
Moving in.
Moving in. But how they faced?
Seen it, right?
Yeah, they faced up. There's an auditorium. Because when you walked in there, what do you have in an auditorium? See all those seats? Guess what they had growing all over them? Mold. Man, it would have taken a ton of money to replace all of that, or a ton of money to clean every seat. So all we did, I went through and I took, that's all I did on this particular situation. I just took water, just the opposite of what you think, right? And a little spray bottle, misted all the seats. And the facility manager thought I was out of my mind. You know, because when you take fabric, you make it a little bit wet. What does it do? Sucks the purification in, right? And then all they did was come in vacuum. It took about 30 days. 30 days in a big auditorium is a lot better than trying to rip everything out, take everything out, and gut it. On the walls, the curtains, everything else. I mean, everything was nasty.
Did you have to test each chair? Just have an air sample?
No, they did random testing. And I think I may be lying here, but they did about 50 or 60 tests in there. You know, I got booklets of tests, you know, just each time. And came out great. In fact, underneath, remember all that stuff that was underneath? You know, all the yellows and all that kind of stuff? That was underneath this stage. Water had flooded that whole building.
How much water was in there?
For the first couple of days, they canoed around for security. Yeah, they had canoes. That's how they did the security around campus. They canoed. So, you know, I don't know. But it did recede. You know, it did, you know.
Which hurricane was that?
Huh?
Which hurricane was that?
Rita.
I have one question. When you price it out,
And electricity was out for like 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks on some of it. So by the time we get in there,
Yeah, generators. Yeah, generators. Huh?
some people had generators, but when the whole city and the whole South Coast is, you know, and Katrina was just 6 days before Rita. So everything was there, and then Rita comes in and wipes us out. And so it was pretty hard to find a lot of stuff.
When you're running the summer, you put it up high. You don't leave it on the ground.
Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, if you put it on a carpet, it's going to clean that carpet up first, you know. But I mean, it really doesn't have the same. It's not as heavy as those.
but it's good to have air movement.
Air
in the room.
movement is the key.
We can put, let's say, 2 fans,
Mhm.
because most of the time when we see mold, we don't use fans. That way we don't blow everything around. But with the CIMR, it's good to put fans.
Blow it out there.
Blow it out.
You know, and I love using my neg air machine with it because that way I'm collecting it, filtering the air, doing the stuff. The insurance companies pay you for that. You know,
Mhm.
do the things that work for you on that.
Do you have a formula to price it out a job, or you just do it?
Not so much for the insurance companies, because mine was the old days in the insurance companies, but for the government, I got all kinds of pricing, you know. For the government, depends on what, where you were in the government. If you were the general, they got $27 a square foot. If you were a subcontractor like I was at Fort Hood, you got $12 a square foot.
for cleaning up,
for just doing the sanitization work.
sanitation work.
How does that rate with insurance companies?
Well, it's by cubic feet, 0.03 cent for cubic feet. That's what they pay in centimeters.
Okay, our buildings are 8 foot tall. You're looking at each dorm room is roughly 660 square feet. So what does that mean?
Let me see. How many square foot?
About 660?
660 square foot times
No, I'm lying. It's going to be a little bit bigger than